Hi guys, welcome to day 6 of SR Animation Academy. We're almost at the last day. We're almost done. I'm so excited. So
Did you guys do your homework?
I don't really care if you did. It was just a
We have to check for
practice
the
day.
homework. This is how class works.
Oh
Check for
shit.
the homework.
It's okay, Nokia.
You
You
didn't.
can
Oh my
It's
god.
okay, Nokia. You can send the one that you did as a test earlier. It'll
Nobody
work.
did the fucking homework.
No one did the homework. It's so sad. Alpha technically did do the homework. Alpha gets a pass.
Where's the homework, Alpha? Turn it in.
It's the Alpha already did the homework the day before.
Where did Alpha turn it in? Oh, that? Yeah. Okay.
Alright, I don't.
That.
That is not super cute, Catherine. That is actually the
That
opposite
was
of super
see
cute.
you again.
No, that was see you again.
NCS see you again. Opening of OR2.
Alright, so we're just gonna get started. So we're gonna talk about keyframing today, and we're gonna talk about in case of emergency. So we're gonna talk about like error codes and whatnot. So start off today, I am literally just going to throw you guys an SR storyboard FLA. That's how we're gonna do this. It's probably the easiest way to do this. So check hashtag resources. That'd be miscellaneous. That would be an animation files actually. Scenes, SR2, storyboard. Yeah, SR2 20 Animation Academy. There you go.
So we're going out of order.
Well, no, we're just gonna do this because it's easier to explain with one. That's like up
So
and
we're
available.
going out of order.
Yeah, kind of.
Out of order.
Well, I'm gonna go back to the start of the order.
Well, I know, yeah, but we're gonna do errors first, and then we're gonna do.
This is not true. This is false
Then we're gonna
information. No, that's not even. That's incorrect.
Fine. Okay. How to open a pre-existing file? They send it to you. You.
I think most of you already know that, but it's file open. Yeah.
I was teaching people how to do that. The first SR multi-animator project. What?
Yes, everyone will be animating the exact same scene.
SR 2-20 Academy test. Yeah, this is your final exam. No, it's not. Your final exam is gonna be.
This is your final exam. We're just keyframing for it today. So once everyone has it open, I will go over the storyboard basics, and we'll talk about keyframing because keyframing is good.
No.
Okay. Mr. Robertson has been banned from the academy for being really mean.
What the fuck happened?
He stole my yogurt in the fridge.
Mr. Robertson was nicer than Jello. True. That's the reason we hired him.
Yeah. But then he stole the yogurt, and that made me really mad.
How would you storyboards work? We draw a thing. And then you draw them better.
You guys have them open? Do you have them open? You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me. I think Alpha's still working on that, but... I need to know. Yes, okay. Great, wonderful. Okay, so as you can see here, we got, so this is how like a typical SR file is set up here. I don't believe that layer 5 is not used for anything, so you can keep that for right now. We'll talk about it in a second. So this is how a typical SR FLA is set up. We got Will, we got AJ. They're on a layer called Storyboard. So what a storyboard is it's like a very rough sketch of like what a scene should look like. So I usually do these, so you'll get like sketches of like poses that like they should go to. And yeah, so this is a very short scene, just for our sake of learning. So I thought I'd use this scene for the sake of this academy because it's really short. It's like 7 seconds long. So as you can see, scrolling through this, it's just there's not really any complicated poses here. Pretty simple. But yeah, so if you can see, these are some posing examples. So basically, these are just drawings. There's nothing really here to them. But what you're gonna want to make sure you do is make sure that the storyboard layer is locked and stays locked, because you don't really want to edit this. But what we can do from here is, okay, well actually I'm gonna go over this. So we got our audio layer here, and we got our camera layer here. Make sure right now you right click on this audio layer when it's highlighted and click copy layers. I'll talk about why in a second. So I'm just gonna go over how you should set up one of these FLAs real quick. So what you gotta do is, obviously, so Will and AJ are in this scene, so we gotta get them. Let's just copy. And we can throw them into here on layer 5. However, what we're gonna want to do now is just like scale them up a little bit, so you want to make sure they stay the same size, to make sure you're scaling them both at the same time. Again, if you need to select multiple things, you can hold shift and it'll select both. So we gotta move Will over here, but you're gonna notice obviously Will needs to be turned around. Just remember, don't just flip everything. You gotta go into it, select everything, unselect the star, change forward, flip horizontal, and then we can move the star over just a little bit. So now we've got this for the most part set up, like as we'd want it. But you're gonna notice if you click into one of these legs, the audio layer will disappear, and that's because the audio layer is currently only on our main stage. So what we're gonna do is go into here, and this is why we copied and pasted that layer earlier. Well, copied it. We're about to paste it. So you're gonna want to hit paste layers, and basically now you'll see, okay, we have our audio now. So if I hit play, you'll notice that Will disappears, but we have all this audio. So what we're gonna want to do is take this little scroll thing down here, scroll it all the way to the end of this, and see where there's no more frames. Insert a frame right there, and now we'll have frames for all of that. Repeat that for AJ, and we'll be good. So now if we play this, they're just standing there. One thing that I did not do here that you're gonna want to make sure that you do is go into snapping real quick, turn snap to align on, and make sure that Will and AJ are standing on the same plane. You want to make sure they're even on the ground, because if they aren't, that's gonna cause problems. Not always a thing that you have to do, but for the sake of this scene, you're definitely gonna have to do that. So I guess let's just talk about keyframing now. So obviously now you can, if you want to, actually sometimes I'll do this. I'll put the storyboard layer above the characters. So what we can do now is we can see that AJ's got this pose here. So now if we click into our thing, we're gonna want to obviously replicate that pose. So the pose is something like just a little rotate to it. He's looking this way. Look over. We got some arms on hips, so just typical, just do that. We've done this a couple times. And then legs, I did not do any skewing here, so we'll just leave that for right now. And then we gotta do Will. Actually, I'll come back to Will in a second. I'm gonna say, for the sake of this, just when you're storyboarding, do one character at a time. AJ also doesn't have any eyebrows here and is using a smirk. Now, one thing to note about storyboards is that storyboards aren't like an exact direction of what you should do. They're more of a general idea. So if you want to add more poses than are here, like you totally could, but you just got to make sure that they flow correctly into one another. So that's just one thing to note. It's just more of a general direction, but you should try to stick to it. So now, if I'm going into AJ, we can see he changes poses here. So we're not going to do any easing or anything here since we're just keyframing. So make sure you don't do any of that, because you're going to mess yourself up for later. You're going to overcomplicate things. So now AJ tilts a little bit more, I think. Am I right? Does AJ tilt the other direction? Yeah, okay. So he tilts a little bit more like this way. right, like this way. So we can do that. So then his arm stays on this, but for the sake of this, we won't have the arm stay at this exact same asset. I'll do like 13. And then I'll put the hand behind the head. So I'll do like 15. Obviously, you're gonna have to make sure the arm stays here. Don't move this rotation point. Just remember that. So AJ looks over here. Make sure you grab the eyebrows. So obviously the mouth is going off the face, which we don't want. So move it up a little bit more. I'm actually gonna not follow the storyboard one for one here. I'm gonna have this rotate this way, and I'm gonna have this expression rotate this way, just cause I think that'll be an easier transition for us. And we got this leg skews just a little bit. So yeah. And then AJ changes poses here again. So again, go back into it, copy this pose, sorts. Once again, we'll have the arm change. I'll go back to 12. And we gotta have the arm come down. So I'll go to like 13 or something. And then the face comes back over. So I will move the face back over here. So we got an eyebrow here. Got that eye. And we got like an open mouth. So the mouth closes on frame 155, so I'll just go in here real quick. I'll just set it to a closed mouth just for sake of reference for later. So now if we play this, if I make this storyboard invisible.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
So that's like a very just like rough, there's no easing, it's just posing. But that's exactly what we want. So now we're gonna do Will. So Will's got like a pose here. Arms are out just a little bit. The head's actually rotated separately from the body, so just make sure you do that. Like, rotate. Face is looking this direction. So I'll move all that. Just make sure the blush doesn't go off the face. Make sure the blush moves with the face. I'm gonna say this would actually be more of like a smaller mouth for this. But we're not doing lip sync right now, so it doesn't really matter for right now. Oh, actually, one thing I entirely forgot about. Okay. Real quick. It's something Swayra does that I've started doing too. Okay, this is something you should do before you actually start keyframing. I entirely forgot about this. Click your mouth real quick. Convert to symbol. We'll just name this lip sync or something. And you'll see now we've got this. Get your audio layer. Click into your new symbol. Paste layers. Insert frame. So you're going to see now we've got our mouth and it's a separate thing from this. This makes lip syncing a lot easier. Because the mouth now acts as a separate entity from the body. So if I were to like change like every frame on this thing to be like 9, that's beautiful. But you'll notice that the mouth has not changed. The mouth will now act as like a separate individual. That will make your life lip syncing a lot easier. So actually, real quick, I'm gonna go back into AJ and do that. So, actually, okay, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with AJ. I think I should be able to. Yeah, okay, here's what we're gonna have to do. So, convert the symbol. We'll name this AJ. Now, lip sync real quick. So now we gotta paste our audio there. Once again, insert as many frames as we need. So what we're gonna do real quick. Alright, so this is actually a good thing to know about anyway. So since you'll notice that now this isn't our mouth lip sync symbol, if you ever mess this up, what you can do is go to swap symbol. And now we should have AJ mouth lip sync. So that looks really funny. I might have messed this up just a little bit. Alright, what we can do is just don't do what I'm doing right now. You know what, actually? We'll use AJ as an example for without the mouth keyframe technique, and we'll use Will as an example with the mouth keyframe technique, because not everyone uses that. I've been trying to use that more, but in general, I would recommend the mouth keyframe technique for a reason I will get to probably tomorrow, but for the sake of this, just make sure Will is set up with the mouth keyframe technique and AJ is not. That's what we're gonna say. So, back to keyframing. I hope you're following along. If I'm going too fast, let me know. So, Will close his mouth, so we're gonna have to double click into. Oh, nope. Make sure the rotation point does not change. So we'll set that to a smile. If I can find it. Yeah, that one. So then Will's pose gets a little bit more relaxed. So, move the arms down. We'll rotate the body back a little bit. We'll rotate the head back down. So we got. That's a pretty simple thing. We can also. I'm gonna unskew the leg here, just a little bit. That's a very subtle movement, but not all movements have to be super over exaggerated for what we're doing. So we got another pose here on frame 160. You'll notice the storyboards don't always stay in the same spot. That's just because they're pretty rough. I don't spend super much time on them, but you don't have to make them follow exactly. They're just a rough example. So we'll rotate it back a little bit more. Once again, rotate the head in a little bit more. If you're having problems, by the way, you might want to turn snap to objects off. Something I just noticed that I had on that I forgot about. And then click back into our mouth symbol. We'll use this one just for example.
Sounds good.
So we switch back to a closed mouth on frame 171. Which will just be a smirk. So now, if we play this scene... Oh, wrong one. If we make the storyboard invisible...
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
So, just noticing this, I think these two poses are pretty close together. So I'm gonna move this one just over just a little bit.
Yeah, you want to head over to
I think that looks a lot more natural. So that's just basically so now we've keyframed the scene, so basically. So obviously this isn't fully done. Now for the sake of this, actually I've also noticed this. I'm gonna paste these two in the center. Move them down a little bit. Just so that they're centered on the screen. Just looks nicer. More presentable. So now, if I play this again.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
So now we've got our storyboard keyframed. So basically, the idea of keyframing is just you're setting your animation up for later. So these are just the final poses that your characters will get to eventually. So it's pretty rigid, but just a rough test, basically. There's just nothing final here. So another thing I actually do want to go over real quick is how to export like an actual video, since we've been mainly exporting GIFs. So again, I think everyone here has Media Encoder. If you don't, you can use Swivel. If you use Swivel. Again, if you're gonna want to try to export something with Swivel, you can just... I think you'd have to change this from a color effect to a layer effect. Since color effects aren't supported by Swivel, but for the sake of our exercise here, I'm gonna say I'll give you guys like 15 minutes. If you haven't already keyframed this scene, go ahead and give Keyframe a try. Oh, oh no, I got a copyright strike. So sad. You've only done AJ so far. That's fine. So, I'll give you guys like 15 minutes. We'll come back to this later if you don't finish right now. But when you finish it, send the FLA file to Let's Try It Out, because I do want to check it out. And then we'll go over some possible errors you might run into. I don't really have much else to say. If you want to share your screen right now, it's totally fine. I will stop streaming for right now. We're still recording. We're all good. Okay. Question, can you do this? I would recommend you don't do that. Because, that's not really in the style. I usually don't do that. The eyebrows should probably stay together. Not eyebrows, do you? I guess this would be eyebrows, yeah, I guess so. They should usually stay together, though. That's fair, bro. If AJ's eyes go above the brim, that's entirely fine. That's fair, bro. Hi. Welcome. I guess nobody's gonna share their screen, so I have no free content. Hi. No one's gonna share their process.
I can share my.
Okay, you don't count, but I was saying, everyone's not sharing this game. Oh, beautiful.
That's a wonderful eye asset. Is that in the files?
No.
I was about to say, I don't recall making that eye asset.
Oh, so okay, Sling, you're running into the problem where make sure. Okay, wait, real quick. Right click. Click on that audio layer. Right click on the layer itself. Copy layers. Click into AJ. Click into him. You gotta go inside of him. Paste your layer there.
Yeah, paste it right there.
You can right click again.
Right click.
Paste layer.
Paste layer. He's searching for it. Oh, now he's gonna see if he actually copied in the first place. This is also an error. Copying audio layers is
Yeah,
there
then
you go.
Okay, then go to the last frame. Nope.
No, go to the last frame of the audio in the AJ. Well, there is
There
a
you go.
scroll bar at the bottom.
Well, that works too. That's perfectly
then
fine.
Click on the ending frame that are blank underneath that. No, underneath the one. All those and drag down.
Insert frame.
And then insert frame.
Oh, keyframe works too. There you go.
Now you have you
can keyframe. Okay, other thing that you actually got to do is go back to
we should set up rigs like that before giving them the
yeah, probably. Alright, wait, real quick
it took me so long to figure out how to do
real quick click out of AJ. God, I can't speak English. Okay. Go to you see how you have all the keyframes on layer 5? Make sure you clear all of those, because otherwise you're going to get stuck on that one frame. Not storyboard. Don't clear the storyboard frames. yeah, all of those. Just make sure you clear all of them. Oh. No, okay. You just gotta click clear keyframe. In fact, actually, you can highlight all of those and do clear keyframe. You don't have to do it one at a time. Then you can... Oh. Yeah, just make sure you get all of them. You can just... If you click and drag beyond where you have on the timeline view, yeah, you'll get that. And so then right click and then clear keyframe. There you go. Okay, now you can do it. Because otherwise you're going to run into the problem of... the reason you have to clear those keyframes is otherwise you're going to... You're going to probably get stuck on, the frame... Because the frames are going to get stuck on frame 1. No matter what you do, so... Okay, go eat, Spiro. That's important.
cheat.
Server has to go back to the faculty room, guys.
Wait, we have a faculty room?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
The learning process is beautiful. It brings a tear to my eye.
Yeah, the tears in my. I'm about to do something dangerous because of this. I'm about to become dangerous.
Hashtag. Why is Christian trending on Twitter? I'm scared.
I don't think you should be. Seems like a very normal thing to be trending. Nobody knows that I'm making the NS rigs.
Really? I can't wait to watch the NS rigs be made for the 18th time.
No,
Who is this?
I don't need to make these NS rigs. This is the other. What's the girl character that I made that I only made like doodles of in my
Girl
math
AJ?
notebook?
Girl AJ?
No, not Girl AJ. The other one. The one that wasn't Girl AJ.
I don't know.
Cassie or whatever.
Oh, it was Cat. It was Cat with a C. Not to be confused with Cat with a K.
It was not Cat. Fuck you.
Was it like Katie or something? I don't know.
Yeah, probably. I need to find it. Sideshows NS. And I put my balls in your jaw.
No. No.
I found those videos, by the way. I found the ones that I made.
No,
The
you
ones that
didn't.
are labeled sus, and there's this nsrigs.fla. Is this just the crocodile? Yeah, it's just the crocodile. I did not rig anybody else. Hello. I'm a salesman, sort of giant. We love NS.
I will
the
say,
sister show to
I will say, Nokia, one thing for future reference, well, like, just storyboarding, I would recommend not squashing and stretching legs, because, you might run into the problem later when you're trying to tween it. So, I don't
You wanna
know.
head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
You fucked up. You did a terrible
You
job.
fucked up! You fucked up!
You're kicked out of the camp. You failed.
We have a very interesting error here with, oh, it's arm layers. Okay, it's just an arm layers error. Okay, Sling real quick. Click into, like, what did I sorry, real quick. Okay, go to that bottom arm layer. Oh. Drag that up to the top. And then drag the like, the second,
yeah.
grab that one and bring it down. There you go.
And the star is on the correct side.
Tis an layering error. Not an airing layer. I don't know what that is.
No, the star is on the correct side. Don't worry, I'm good.
The star is on the good area. Rarity and Pinkie Pie if they were in SR. Is this true?
That's mid.
And a Rainbow Dash. I should stop watching this the Jello screen share. It's gonna be spoiled for the audience.
What do you mean? I'm not spoiling anything.
I'm being spoiled! Spoiled!
Nobody knows knows who that character is.
It's like when you put Sonic Generations models next to Roblox gamers.
That's very true.
My name is
When you
Pinkie
download the
Pie.
Fortnite assets and then put a Minecraft Steve in it. I like how Swearo said Rarity and Pinkie Pie. There is just Pinkie Pie.
No, Kia, no, tweening yet. No, Kia, no, you're going too far.
Where is Rarity?
No. We're gonna talk about that later.
Was going ahead.
Don't go ahead right now, because you're gonna get lost. I mean, actually, I think you'd be okay, but, like, just try not to go ahead. Which I know is a stupid thing to say, but, like...
You're banned.
Fecus. That's not how you spell
Species.
that.
That's a species.
That's not how you spell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I don't know. Okay.
For being British, you sure don't know how to spell. I bet you spell color with a U.
La Barbie.
Biblioteca.
La Biblioteca.
Gelatin. SR. Gelatinous.
Gelatinous reality.
Jelly SR. Jello SR.
Jello will
Jello
never.
season 1.
Jello-
Everybody watch Jello
Jello
season
will
1.
never. Jello will never be an SR. Jello and SR3.
No, there's
Oh,
no U
oh.
there. There's no.
I'm gonna be real. British English is so weird because the way that the words are spelled just makes absolutely no sense.
Allure? Allure? No, it's not. Allure. No.
Not even how you pronounce it. You don't pronounce it color. You pronounce it color. Color. If anything, it should be. If anything, it should be Culler.
Okay. But why do you call fries chips? And chips crisps? I'm confused.
Honestly, that one kind of makes sense, I guess.
I mean, yeah, chips are crisp, but like...
Yeah.
I know, chips are fries, and yes, that's literally what
Oven?
chips are
You
fries.
put your French fries in ovens?
Fries are the...
What?
Yeah, I know, Wait, what? No, I thought you guys called fries chips. What?
I think they bake
Okay,
their.
so,
I think they
so,
bake
like,
their
waffle
fries in the
fries.
oven.
So like waffle fries are chips
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought.
because
it
they're
was gonna
big,
be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
and crisps. No,
Pretty
crisps.
good.
Yeah, crisps are thin as fuck. Okay, so what you're saying is it's like a cracker.
One suggestion, Sling. I would go back in and add some more like rotation to Will's body because right now it kind of just stays still in like one
Now,
spot.
what did you have for breakfast? This is a test.
Nokia hates British breakfast, so it's okay.
Good. The full English breakfast is the only good English breakfast.
Me eating my beans at breakfast time.
I would kill myself. No. Beans are shit. The first British person to ever say this.
Yeah, that looks better. Oh, that's interesting. Do you not have key? Okay, interesting. You might want to recenter the mouth there. It's an interesting conundrum here. Oh, nope, that's the head. There you go.
Oh, wait, shit, I forgot to send something to you.
Did you?
Subby-Spaced how real I died.
Okay. Send it
Hey,
to
look
me.
at this.
Send it to me. Now.
I got this message. I didn't respond to it. Honestly, I would value watch time too.
Oh,
By the way,
boy.
I was sent the message that you sent to them, They sent me
you
the
wanna head over
message.
to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
and I read your message, and yours makes total sense. I literally texted saying, Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see how you're upset about it, but I also completely understand what Subby's talking about because as somebody who uploaded their first YouTube video
That
in
honestly wasn't as
December
hard as I thought it was gonna be.
of
Yeah, you wanna head
2014.
over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Pretty good.
Sounds good.
Pretty good. It's good.
Or, no, wait, no.
keyframing.
It wasn't December of, wait.
That honestly
on.
wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Excuse me. When did this video release? August of 2014. So my 10 years on YouTube anniversary is in a year from now. I have 9 years on YouTube.
That's gross.
This year, this month, I have 9 years on YouTube.
Next year in like February, I'll have 8 years on YouTube. What are you gonna do for your what are you gonna do for your what are you gonna do for your 10th anniversary?
For my 10th anniversary, I'm finally gonna post on my old channel.
Hey guys, here's the
4
entirety of
years.
SR3.
It's been 4 years. I'm 5 feet taller.
You were 1 foot.
Definitely.
You were 1 foot tall before.
I was 1 foot the last time I uploaded on that channel.
Once I last uploaded on that channel, I was 1 foot tall.
I've grown 6 inches in height. I really have. I legitimately have grown half a foot since I stopped uploading. I was 5'6" and now I'm 6 foot.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you wanna head
Raise
over
your
to Dylan's
hand
lab
if you're
to
the
tell him we're
shortest
done?
person in the class, guys. Who's the shortest person in the class? Proctors don't count. Err. Lying on the internet for a good cause is something I do constantly.
Me spreading misinformation on the internet.
I'm spreading false information on the web. Why? It's fun.
Alright, so since everyone here has keyframed.
I'm sorry, Nokia.
Oh, you don't have to remove the storyboard by this thing. You can just make the layer invisible. You see like the eye icon over there? Like okay, if you go just click that eye icon and now it's gone.
Why do you have the pipe falling sound effect, Nokia? Why'd you put that in there? Don't spoil it, you dick/J. You know what?
Yeah.
I saw that you typed that hearing us talk over us talking is difficult. But how do you think we feel when we have to listen to ourselves speak while animating us speaking? How awful do you think it is?
Alright, so
for
since both of
me to
you
do that?
have keyframed, I don't know what Alpha's doing. I think Alpha's still working on the Undertale thing. So I'm gonna go over how to save an SR scene real quick. Just for this.
Control.
Well, okay, not how to actually save, but like
Control S. Control S.
So there are two. Obviously, you can do Control S, but for the sake of this, I'm gonna say what you should do is I'm gonna wait for people to watch my screen share actually.
Everybody, shut up.
Everybody, shut up. I don't know what else.
Also, I found the character rig. I found the character name. Sorry.
Okay, so when you've got your scene done, or you can just do this before you even finish it. Actually, you don't have to always finish it before you do this. What you want to do? Go to File, Save As, and you're gonna want to rename this to SR. You're gonna want to make sure you don't have to remove the underscores, but I'd recommend you do it. It's gonna make your life easier. So you want to name this SR220, and you'll see how it says Academy Test at the end. Delete that and change it to your name. So for the sake of mine, I'd be Subby. So I guess like Nokia or Sling King, whatever, just whatever you decide. But you want to make sure you label your scene as your name. Usually, if I'm sending you like a scene, I will do this for you. But
SR2-16 underscore Jello.
it helps keep it clear who did what for proper credit.
Yeah, that way I can't steal a swear-o scene, which I love to do. I plagiarize constantly. All things I have ever animated.
So usually you won't have to do that because I'll do it for you. It's just if I do it for you, don't edit the file name because it'll mess up my.
20 Nokia scene
Yeah, I'm just gonna say if I like name it for you, don't change the file name because it'll mess up the entire file sorting system.
Guys, do it purposely and also put a zip bomb in your FLA.
Yes, it's very important. So everyone who downloads the source code will get a zip bomb.
Yeah, that way when we release the files, that way when they're released to the public, it's actually a giant troll and everybody's computers blow. All our food keeps blowing up.
Alright, we got. Alright, you both have saved. That's great. Okay, so I'm gonna hand this over to Jello real quick, who's gonna talk about recover files in case of emergencies.
Okay, everybody.
Should probably go over where recover files go, by the way, in case you don't like if you have like an untitled recover file that you haven't saved, you should go over where that goes to.
Yeah, okay. So untitled recover files. Sometimes they'll go to wherever you have Adobe Animate files saved, and sometimes they'll go to the last file folder that you used, and sometimes they won't exist. It's just something that happens. I'm gonna see if I can find a recover. Is there a recover in here? I don't know. Recovers happen randomly. Yeah, right here. Recover of OR intro 2022. Yeah, okay. So, as you can see, it's a file. The file size is the same. But this one's from much earlier. Basically, a recover, if you have it saved, it'll save to that same folder with this title, recover of, and then blank. And the way that you just open it and it'll be whatever the autosave was. That's when, like, the little pop-up window, like, will pop up, like, right here and say, like, recovering or something, and it'll, like, be, like, a loading bar. It's generating one of these. And generally, it happens at once every 30 minutes, I want to say.
You can also change that. You can also change that interval if you want. I have mine set at 10.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure where they go exactly if it's not saved. I know it's somewhere like in. I have the Creative Cloud. It's somewhere wherever Animate is saved. I'm pretty sure. Adobe Animate stuff. Is it in here? This is where it gets tricky. This is why you should always just like, if you're gonna make an animation and you're 100% sure on it, the second you open the file, hit Control S and save it so you have the name of it.
Yeah.
And then every time you do anything big, Control S it. That way you have the recovers in the file, you know where it is, and you're constantly saving your progress. Never have an untitled scene like this for too long.
I will say if you get like a random like error, let's say, and Adobe Animate just immediately crashes, upon opening Adobe Animate again, it will ask you if you want to reopen and recover files.
Yeah. That is true. And I usually close it because I was the one who triggered the closing of Adobe Animate. But
yeah. But if your computer like crashes or something, if your power goes out.
Yeah. My computer, if I leave it in, I put it on rest mode instead of shutting it off, and it just crashes. So, shut it off every once in a while so that it doesn't just freeze and crash. But you know, recovery files are useful. Sometimes they're annoying and they can like really clutter up a folder. That's why I have my intervals set so high. Because at one point in my old files before I cleaned everything up, it was like the main FLA, and then there was like 4 recovers, and they were just taking up space. But yeah, you should always save your progress anyway. But if your computer does crash for whatever reason, just know that there's probably a recover file for whatever you were working on. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about audio and image file errors now. This is fun. So, oftentimes, you'll get an error when trying. I'm gonna make a new file for this. This happens specifically with audios, but I will talk about images too. So oftentimes when trying to open a file and animate, let's say I want to go file import stage real quick. Let's say I like, where is this? Where would this be? I'm looking for like the VCGC jokes video that I made. VCGC jokes. So if I go into here, if I try to open something like this normal image, no, this is the one that works, I think, actually. Nope, you see. Actually, you'll see, this imported as an audio file, so that's obviously not supposed to happen. And the reason for this is, kind of confusing, but if I explain it, it'll make sense. I'm trying to find one that'll give me, like, more like an error that I'm looking for. Nope, the cheeseburger one also works perfectly, okay. I gotta find, like, an image that's, like, a JFIF file or something.
Oh wait, I have an example of an audio area ready.
Okay, well, I'm trying to find, like, a... Here we go. So, see, this is an SVG file. Actually, no, Squidward works.
You have to share your whole screen for us to see that, but...
Okay, no, I'm just trying to find, like, a file that'll work, but give me a second. I'll fix it.
You want me to cover the audio error?
No, give me a second. It's fine.
Are you gonna cover how to convert it to...
Okay, let's say, like, for example, I want, like... Like, Ed's World Ed. I know he has a fandom wiki page. So, if you copy and paste this image here, this will work perfectly fine. But if we try to save this to our computer, this will save as a WebP file. Now, Adobe Animate does not like WebP files, so if I save this, and let's say I for whatever reason, just rename this to a .png or something, I'll just save this in my new volume. I should get an error when I try to open this, because I've tried to rename the file type. There he is, Ed Hoodie. Yeah, so one or more files were not important because there were problems reading it. So essentially, Adobe Animate only supports PNG, and JPEGs. So if you try to open anything like a JFIF or a WebP file, it just won't open. There are ways to convert those files, but just note that you can't just rename the files. You're going to have to go ahead and convert them, actually. An example of an audio error, I know you said you have an example, but I actually also have multiple examples. If I go back into the SR files, audio, other, episodes, SR1, scenes. So if I get, like, I believe the original version of SR12 works, okay. It's one of these ones that doesn't work. Is it SR112 unclean? No, nope, okay. One of these doesn't work. It's one of these. Unless I've fixed all of them. Okay, either way. Sometimes you'll just get a flat-out audio error when trying to open audio from a source. Like this online audio converter one? No, that works again. So, well, that kind of goes into what you can do to fix this. So if you ever get, like, an audio pop-up error, where it just, like, it'll be the same type of error where it's like, one or more audio files could not be loaded, or something similar. Go to this website. I'll type it out. Actually, I want to find, like, the right link, because I don't want to send you to the... There's this website with the exact same name that is, like, awful. Yeah, it's the one with the dashes, I'm right. We're good. AFK, that's perfect fine. So, yeah. So this website will automatically convert audio files. So if you open an MP3 here and just convert it to another MP3, If you hit convert, it should convert it. WAV files also work in animate, just so you know. But yeah, sometimes you'll just get errors with files not opening properly. But if you convert them to a file type that Adobe Animate knows, it should be fine. Do you want to show your example, Jello?
Yeah, yes, I would.
Okay.
Okay, so if I were to share my screen, okay, so there was audio that I wanted to import, right? If I go to MP3, I converted it to be usable, but you see here, I downloaded it, and it's of a certain. Oh, there it is. Couldn't import blah 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 blah, and that's because it's at a certain like kilohertz that Adobe Animate doesn't like. So I use Audacity. It's free, so works.
You can in fact also use Audacity to update that. I entirely forgot about that.
To open this up, and then down here at project rate, I would just change this to 44100, and then re-export it, like file, export, MP3, and then that will make it, that'll make it usable. Part of the audio is just the THX intro. It's the THX intro?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, uh-oh. Did you read what it was?
Yeah, I was like, do not play that audio.
It's 100 gex.
Alright, so what's the other error we're gonna talk about? Other errors. Okay, so some errors that you might also run into are okay. I will talk briefly about these. So I'm gonna share my screen. So let's say you got like one of the SI rigs here. We'll use Nick. We haven't used Nick much. Let's say we got Nick here. There he is. No, they are. Sorry. Nick goes our hands. Insert frame. Keyframe here. Let's say I want to make accidentally click a motion tween. You're gonna notice this does nothing. But that's because if I can rate this to a actually no, I didn't want that. I wanted shape tween. So you're gonna notice this is entirely grayed out. But it's possible to actually accidentally create a shape tween with this. But obviously you need that there. Say I create a shape tween now. So you notice I can't make a shape tween. So obviously that's because you'd get an error if you did that. But let's say now I did this. And I inserted a keyframe at the end, but it's skewed a little bit. So now shape tween works. It's actually not the way I expected it to tween that, but perfect. So let's say now I were to take Nick and put Nick onto this layer. You're gonna notice it allows me to do this, but you're gonna notice that Nick will immediately disappear. This is because, again, you can't mix drawings with symbols, and if you try to do so, this happens. Nick will just disappear. Won't work well. Thank you for the best you. Won't work well. I believe Nick only appears on this last frame. Yeah, so Nick will just disappear. You also notice this will change the arc of the tween a little bit. So another error you might run into are through the actions panel. So sometimes I think Sling Kick triggered one of these. Sometimes you'll just get an error which will I didn't want to pop my actions out. If you ever do that, just drag it back in and it'll work. So this is actually a coding panel. I haven't really talked about this much. This is a leftover Adobe Flash. I wouldn't recommend using this. But sometimes in the actions panel you'll get a full screen, not a full screen, a full timeline, black panel with an error code. If that happens to you, just click back on timeline and it'll be fine. You just ignore it. Another error you could also possibly run into is I believe there is an object limit. So if I were to let's say I make like this. This is Brain. This is Brian, actually. So let's say I just go. Over and over again. So eventually, okay, I haven't done nearly enough to check out this. Eventually, you will get to an error that'll just be like out of RAM, and that means that your computer has run out of memory to display what you're trying to put on screen. That's also an error you can end up getting in Media Encoder. What's this? Oh, I haven't even talked about this area yet. There's a lot of these. Oh, okay, so this one at the top, by the way, makes SWF files, if you ever want that. I think I talked about that a little bit. This is the quick share and publish button. I don't think most of you guys have this. I don't, like, no, Nokia has that. Okay. If you ever want to, like, immediately export something to, like, a social media, like, you can just, like, immediately, like, if you click up here, it'll make a video or an animated GIF. Or I can share this directly to Twitter or YouTube. I believe the next version of Animate is probably going to have more of those, because I think that's a pretty new feature. You'll see a lot of these, too. These are all presets. What's this button do? Resets. I should save one of these, actually. There you go. So if you ever want to share your save your workspace, you can just save this down here, and it'll, in case your workspace ever gets reset, you can just reset this one to that. So I'd recommend doing that if you can. Just click this button up here, and you can save your workspace. So just in case it ever gets reset back. There's a lot more errors that you might end up running into. If you ever run into an error and you're not really sure how to fix it, if you Google it, most of the time you'll find like a page on Adobe's support blog about it. Someone else is probably running that same error. There is a really, really weird error you can run into with Media Encoder specifically, where sometimes it'll just refuse to boot. This is because sometimes your computer just accidentally deletes a driver that Media Encoder uses. If that ever happens, literally all you have to do is it's gonna sound really weird. You don't want to purposefully shut your computer down. What you want to do is force your computer to shut down in like a weird way. So if you like unplug your computer or something, or if you just like force restart your computer, which usually I wouldn't recommend doing, but if you get that Media Encoder error, if you do that, it'll force your computer into recovery mode upon rebooting, and it should re-download those drivers for you. If you run into that error, again, if you look up the error code, usually you will find a solution to it. But that's something I did want to warn about, because I have run into that error a few times myself. Are there any other errors you can think of? Jello? What? Sound. I don't like. Oh, that's trippy. Whoa. That's cool. Oh, my Discord, no. Oh wait, I know an error I should talk about. I do sound like Leafy avoiding the cannonballs. You're right. Another error that you might run into. Let's say that you accidentally click F11. You're gonna notice, whoa, this doesn't look right. What you have done is you have made this stage full screen. If this ever happens to you, click F11 again, and you'll get this full screen mode pop up. Click full screen, and it'll put your thing into full screen. Click F11 again, and it'll go back. So you gotta click F11 again if you ever click it on accident. If Jello's not back, I'm gonna talk about the settings menu real quick. So we haven't really talked about that. So
Hello.
oh hi, I was asking if you had any other error codes that you thought of that you should
Oh,
mention?
sorry. Yes. No. I do not. I mean, there's the general stuff where like you like put too many brush strokes and then it takes forever to load and then
Yeah.
sometimes it just crashes.
So another error that you might end up running into, if you go into edit preferences real quick, you're gonna see mine's probably a little different than yours. I have some different color settings. If you want to change those, you totally can. It'll change your colors for groups, symbols, and other elements. I just have them on this. So you can change your theming here, so I can change it to dark mode, light mode, lightest mode, which is just pure white, and I don't think anyone should ever use lightest mode. But light mode's like good. I like light mode in Adobe Animate. Lightest mode is just everything is the same color of white, and I think it just looks kind of funky. Dark mode, I usually just use darkest mode. I think it has the best contrast. It's the best on. I think it's better for your eyes too, but whatever. Thank you for showing you this. You're welcome. You can hide the stage border. What that will do is it'll just. Is that updating in real time? Yeah, okay. What this will do is it'll just hide like this border thing whenever you're using the stage mode. Use outliners for stage panning for better performance. I would not recommend clicking this. It will make the thing run better, but it'll create some problems. So I just wouldn't recommend keeping it on. Auto-collapse icon panels is something I just have on by default. I don't really know what this one does. Open animate and script documents in different windows will make it so when you open an animate file, it'll open in a separate window on your second screen if you have that. Would not recommend doing that. Highlight colors are just, you can just do whatever. If you choose a layer color thing, what that will do is anything that you highlight will change to its layer color. You can change the layer colors by... Actually, I don't think you can change layer colors. I think they're just set to layer, whatever. I think they're just random. Yeah, I don't think you can do that. Alright, so back to our little menu here, which is under... Oh, that's font mapping. Edit preferences. So, I didn't talk about this yet. I talked about auto recover, so I haven't set that every 5 minutes. So, just however often you want to set that to. I just have it set really low because I don't want to lose progress, but that will create a lot of files on your computer. Just a warning. Just be careful of that. Document level undo is what you want to have on. Do not have object level undo on. And you can change how far back you want to go. I would recommend just setting this to max 300 because that's how far... That means if you do 300 edits, you can go back 300 times. Like, I guess you can have it lower, but, like, I just recommend having it at the max. Code editor, you're not going to be worried about this. Script files, not worried. Compiler, not worried. Text, here you can change your default font if you like. I just have mine on Grand Standard, but if you want to make yours, like, Arial or something, I believe the default is Times New Roman. Show font preview size, not really different. Bye! Okay, I'm back. I'm back. Okay. DNA Subby. No Subby-Spaced. Alright, so we were talking about drawing options. So, connect the lines will change how close your lines have to be to connect. Smooth curves, you don't really want to play with this one. Recognize lines, I would recommend it as a tolerant, because it'll make more lines for you, which means more editing points, which is fun. Recognize shapes, same thing. Click accuracy, it doesn't really matter here. It just depends on like how close you have to be to click something. I'd recommend staying this on normal. Tablet input, this is very few of a drawing tablet. It doesn't really matter whatever you have. I don't know. Context sensitive selection and lasso tools, just makes it so it's kind of like it'll auto snap to certain things. Pen tools, show pen preview. You definitely want that for pen tool. key bone tool. We haven't talked about the bone tool. Asset warp tool. Not really something you have to worry about. So those are settings. Make sure you hit OK and not cancel when you're done with that, because you're gonna have problems. Something I do want to talk about. Publish will just don't click publish if you don't have like legally acquired copy of Adobe Animate, because that sends it to your I'm pretty sure that sends that to your Adobe drive. I'm pretty sure that's what that does. Well, that might save. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what publish does. We should use the MLP sparkles in SR. I don't think we should. I don't think we have permission to do that. That's about it I want to talk about with preferences. I just wanted to mention that real quick. Is there anything else we have to talk about even? I might have scheduled this lesson for a little too long. I thought this would have taken longer. I guess we can talk about our scene here real quick. So, now that we've got this keyframed, yours might look a little different than mine. I probably keyframed it a little different than you guys did. Again, there's no one right way to keyframe. I should note, what we can do beyond this is, I'm gonna do like one really quick movement here, just for an example purpose. So one thing specifically when you are animating a scene that you really want to make sure of is, one, you're gonna want to leave lip sync for last. So say I just do a basic movement here. So I can insert row keyframes here, just make this movement smoother. Move the arm back in, make sure the arms don't disconnect. We've gone over all this stuff. But what reason I'm doing this real quick is I do want to warn of something that can happen. This is frame 13? Okay. That's 12, so... Apparently I'm just animating now, okay. So, I will talk about this error in a moment. I have to set up the error that will happen, though. This is on 15? Jeez, okay.
Oh my, twins.
I'm going over an error that can happen sometimes.
We love twins.
Let's build a little bit more anticipation to it. So as you're gonna see, I'm not animating the mouth right now. That's a later on thing. It's like it's just simple. Now you're gonna notice throughout this, I've been doing just these, but now I'm getting to the part where I want to do that technique with moving the keyframe over. So I'm gonna move this frame over too, like you would usually do, and then I will move this one out, just to make it smoother. Actually, I think this would be a bounce. Actually, okay. Well, this is a bad example of this error, but something that can happen with this is that you'll notice that I have this row of keyframes here. If I move this over now, you're gonna see, oh, this arm snaps. This is because I copied this keyframe. So in case this happens, just go back and make sure you set it back to that frame that you want there. That's just something to be wary of happening. I also don't have the transitional tween select, which I probably should right now. But yeah, that's just something to just keep your eyes out for. That can happen sometimes. Just make sure you don't do that, because if you do, it'll just be snappy. You don't want that. I will finish this movement real quick just for the sake of this test, but just see if now that I have fixed the problem that we were having. Thank you for saying auto recovery.
Sorry to bother you. Where'd you put those insurance cards of Nana's? We can't find them.
Oh wait, okay. Do you know why the classic tween makes the rigs move near the bottom left of the screen? Do you mean like? Can you show me like an example of that? Oh, it's because you made a key. Okay, so if you remove that keyframe real quick, or remove that classic tween, not the keyframe. Don't remove the keyframe. It's because you made both of those into one symbol. So it's because you tried to create a tween within the symbol. So just undo that real quick. So now you'll notice, yeah, okay, so that's something that you should also be careful of. If you want to avoid doing that, you can separate them onto different layers if you need to, or you can just click into them to do movements. I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing a movement like on like the main timeline. So you're gonna want to make sure you're inside of a rig when you do a classic tween. Just double click. Yeah, there you go. That is something that you should be careful of. That is a good thing to remember. This is a good thing to talk about. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I think the error you're having here is, did you like flip like the entire face around for that? That is an interesting error. Alright, so I think the error that you're having there is I think you flipped the entire face around, and you probably should not do that. So like if you like what I'd recommend doing there is just remove like the frames to like the face layer, I guess. Just clear all those keyframes. You can leave the head ones. And the arm. Just make sure. So I'd remove like the mouth, eyebrow frames, those ones. Just grab those. There's one more. You got them. You gotta get the mouth. Just clear those keyframes. That's a blank keyframe. You gotta clear it. Clear keyframe should be. It's right underneath insert blank keyframe. And then do that for the mouth too. It's the second layer. So now, okay, now just like pose the face, but like don't like flip it. You can move those too. It's fine. And now if you do that tween thing again, it should work properly, maybe? You gotta make sure you insert a keyframe for that one eyebrow that you didn't do, though. And then, like, now if you create a classic tween, it should work fine. There you go. My little SR, I used to wonder what my SR could be. There you go. So obviously the arm disconnects, which you'd have to just move it back in. But, yeah, that's just the idea. I don't know what Nokia is doing.
Yeah, you want.
Hi. Oh, it's my cat coming in onto you. Apparently everyone has to interrupt me. Hi, cat. Okay.
Yeah, you.
Alright, so back to what we were talking about. Real quick. What was I even talking about? I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah, you want to head up.
Yeah. I've heard that word so many times in the past like week. Well, I guess you guys are all done keyframing, so...
Yeah, you want. Yeah, you want.
So I think the other problem you're running into here, Sling, is these are just like classic tweens, so you might want to like change like the tween like type. If you go up to properties. I would do like a quart ease in out. That's also gonna look a little weird. I think you're gonna actually also have to clear that arm keyframe because no, don't do that. Because you're gonna say it doesn't have the same easing type. So you're gonna have to go in and edit the arm after. I think you're just gonna have to clear the keyframe and then do that again. Because I think it's only editing after that.
Yeah, you want.
So now, yeah, because you see now it's all classic keys. So if you highlight like all of those like frames there now again, if you go to like if you go to like the effect, if you go to ease it out and you do quart, that should look good. That's an ease out. You want ease in out. That's close. You can count it right. There you go.
Yeah, you want.
And then you gotta move the arm back in, obviously, but getting the idea.
Yeah, you wanna.
You also you gotta make sure you edit the classic tween on the arm on the bottom layer.
Yeah, you wanna.
Looks good.
Yeah, you want.
I don't know what Nokia is doing, but I'm gonna let her cook for right now.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Oh, I noticed the problem that you're having here. I mean that arm movement looks really good, but you see how you have like the classic tween for like the entire like leg movement there, or not even movement, just like the entire leg. Just make sure you insert a keyframe when you like want the leg to move, because otherwise it's gonna keep moving like continuously, and then remove that classic tween. There you go.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Obviously, you still gotta make the movement in that one, but. Jello, do you think there's anything we should go over before tomorrow? Or no?
Not really. I mean, tomorrow is just, like, animating a full scene, right?
Yeah, which is this one.
Yeah, you
Which
wanna
you've already
head over-
keyframed for.
Yeah, tomorrow, don't go ahead and do any, like, tweens or big animations or lip syncing yet.
If you wanna like test like if you wanna do like a test tweening movement, that's totally fine. You can totally do that.
And if you want to do the optional homework from the other day to get yourself ready for animating
Yeah.
tomorrow, you can also do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
This thing's learning. He's cooking.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Oh. No, cancel. I still don't know what Nokia is doing. I'm scared. Oh, okay. Oh, are you doing frame by frame before you tween? That's interesting. I think you are doing that. Which is a way that you can do it. God, SR Subby cared about what she was making. God. That's a really good arm movement. If you want to have it stay on that frame for a little bit longer, if you click into that, if that's like what you're trying to do, I guess what you could do is like, I think that's what you're trying to do. I'm not really sure.
wanna head over?
I guess we're just animating now. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
Yeah, you wanna head over? Yeah, you wanna head over? Yeah,
Who's gonna be?
yeah, you wanna head? Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's? Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Ah, SR book. The book of SR.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's?
Thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
My little SR. I'm still wondering what SR could be. Oh, sorry, Seth has transitioned apparently.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna
What are
be.
you talking about?
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're
Oh,
done?
Sounds
Oh.
good.
oh,
Oh.
oh, oh. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, you wanna head over to you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Honestly, if you guys want to make tomorrow like more like accurate to like the actual experience of SR, if you can just finish this scene like right now, I could just make the scene for tomorrow like a more like challenging one. No, you're fine. It's a fun moment. Stress. This is a PVC idling animation. I got the frame 12, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking finally, holy shit. Yeah, okay. That's kind of why you don't do text on a tween there. I know you're just doing that for like the lulls of talking, but like, just a general tip. I try not to do that. It will mess everything up for you, and you will hate your life.
Yeah.
Sass.
Yeah.
Yo. What do we? Are they doing
They're cooking.
keyframing?
They're animating now. We've gone ahead.
We've moved on. Is tomorrow like an optional day, or like is it like we're on call if they have any problems while they're animating? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Honestly, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about maybe
You wanna
just
head
doing a
over to
different
Dylan's
scene
lab
for
and tell him we're
tomorrow.
done?
Sounds good.
And then, because I do have like a lot of other scenes storyboarded. I was gonna do some more storyboarding tonight.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yay.
You wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
That is still way too extreme. Holy shit. What do I do here? What the?
Sounds good.
Actually, like, it kind of does work. I should move the face down here, not up.
Done?
Sounds good.
That does work.
Done?
Sounds good.
The thing is, we're gonna have to pick one of these to be in the actual episode. It's gonna be fun.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. You wanna head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
That's a very rough AJ moment.
Dylan's lab to tell him.
Maybe.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
I don't want to use the transition between here. Let's check. It's an ease in, not an ease out. Oops. Sign ease out, go.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Sign ease out. And come back. You suck. Circle ease out, go.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to
That's kind of like close.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan.
Cubus ease out, go.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan. Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan.
That's good enough.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That
Tell him we're done?
sounds good.
We're all cooking. It's beautiful.
That
I should teach them how to swear.
that
Best experience ever. That's day 8. That's the special Swayro day. Swayro will be here on day 8 exclusively just to teach you. If you would like to turn into Swayro.
that honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Ooh, the math twist again. That's what happens when you try to reverse a symbol. That's gonna edit the last turn. That's not really what you want. Okay, how to fix this? Really quick. Go to where you're tweeting. Like, go to, like, the way the tweet happens. Just, like, okay, go to, like, the last mouth frame. Like, the last one. There. Oh, wait, what? Oh, did you change the rotation point? Is that what happened? I'm not really sure what's happening here, honestly. I genuinely don't know. When is day 8? Whatever you want it to be. you converted to a symbol and that messed it up. That might be it. I guess check where the rotation points are on both mouths. Because it should, theoretically speaking, be in the same spot on both. And then check the other one, maybe? Well, that wouldn't do anything to AJ. That would... So it's a symbol there. That's the rotation point there. Don't move that. So that's there. Alright, then go to the other mouth where it's like messing up. Yeah, that one. Well, you have to go to the first frame. Where it's at. Not like the actual first frame, but you gotta like go to the first frame of that movement. So is it in a different spot? Is that why? Yeah, do you see the rotation point moves? Oh, it's because that mouth is reversed, isn't it? Try like transform. Click click on it. Transform and then flip horizontal. So it is the rotation point. That is the problem. I don't really know how to fix that. If you grab that last mouth there, like if you click on that last mouth, right click, and then swap symbol maybe. So right click, swap symbol, and then go into rigs and go to X parts, wheel parts, and find mouthy wheel. And then that should fix it. No, that is still okay. I think you're just gonna have to line the rotation points up. You have to go back to that first frame. That's again, yeah. Bless you. Yeah, you see the rotation points all the way over there. So just like move the rotation point to the center of that mouth. You can just click and drag that. Nope. Click out of that. Nope. Not how you, okay, oh, okay, you gotta go to the other selection tool. Like the other selection tool. Yeah, now you can move that. If you went to like the center of that mouth, that should fix it? Maybe? Yeah, that's basically fixed.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
There you go.
Done?
Sounds good.
Yeah, you want... Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to...
I am the roach from Kirby's Blood. Ooh, that's interesting. I think it's again because you're trying. I think it's like I think you're rotating the mouth. I think that's what's happening.
want to head over to
Harder than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Bad guys are trying to be funny in the FLA. Oh God.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. That that hon- that that honestly wasn't. That honestly. That honestly wasn't. That honestly wasn't. That honestly wasn't as. That honestly wasn't as hard. That honestly wasn't as hard as. That honestly wasn't as hard as. That honestly wasn't as hard as.
I don't. I really should have my soundboard unmuted at this point. You know what I'll do? So I can watch like what people are doing at the same time as what I'm doing. I will split my screens. But I will make this one smaller because I want room to work.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I. That honestly wasn't as hard as I.
Tip for lip syncing. I don't think anyone's gotten there yet other than me. If you ever need to think about how to lip sync something, just like read it out like with your mouth and just think about how your mouth is moving. You're gonna look like an insane person, but like it's genuinely like a really good technique.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was.
Oh.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Jello has to go, so I will still be here though.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. As I thought it was gonna.
Close to mouth.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
That's a good lip sync. I'm really proud of that, actually.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're...
Oh, do you have a question? No, that's just Sway Room.
Done?
Sounds Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good.
I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. I'm cooking.
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
I think you should care if the link is done in a really bad way. You should. Oh, I messed up my OBS capture. You should care. You should put effort into your work. You should strive for greatness. Remember, always put your full effort into everything. That's a future no Keyframe. That's an awful. That is an awful way to work. I will warn you. I'll do this manually. No fun bounce this time.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab? Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him? Over to Dylan's lab to tell him? Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him? Head over to Dylan's lab to tell him? Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him? Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Brother walked in. Okay. Making progress. Yay. I mean, I think I just finished, but like, I meant like you guys. I was just doing this for fun.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's done.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to... Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Animationing, it's happening. Well, I guess I finished this one. Alright. That was intentional. Okay. Seems done. Seems done. Oh, I mixed up the done bars. Oops. I will put a question mark because I might end up using one of your guesses if it's better. I did make this in like, how long did that take? Like 40 minutes?
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Adobe's not letting you use the frame picker on the mouth even though you are... Oh, okay. So that happens when you have a tween. What you gotta do is just insert a keyframe like in the tween, and then it should let you use the frame picker. That's just something that happens with tweens. Have to make a tween into that one. QWERTY's in that one, beloved. That's done.
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as that honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, I guess that seems done. That was not the intended result of that, but okay. Maybe I'll keep going until like 6. I'll keep watching over you guys and then I'll go because I got other stuff to do today. We're still gonna do tomorrow, by the way. I just gotta get a different scene for all this to do. It's like a final thing. Okay. Sorry for not checking that. I was doing business affairs. Not really, but like, yeah, it's funny. Like, it'd be really funny if we left, like, I finished AJ tweeting at the top of the screen, like, for the entire scene. Getting a musical instrument. I'm a pro at that. Verify. Are you human? I am human. How did Jello have the dog so fast? We're from Buffalo. It's kind of just our thing. We will go for like 6 more minutes and then I will cut this off because I'll stay on the call to keep working, but I gotta go work on other stuff and I don't want to spoil everything to everyone. It's an interesting setup. things.
Lab to tell him. We're done?
Sounds good.
Head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done. Tell him we're done. To tell him we're
SR jump.
to tell him we're done. Tell him we're Dylan's lab to tell him we're done.
That's evil.
Tell him we're
Tell him we're done. Tell him we're
tell him
done.
Tell him we're to tell him we're done.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
This is cooking.
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
It's good. Good.
We're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. Wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
How does I tell him we're done?
That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Honestly wasn't
Yeah,
as hard as
you
I
want
thought
to
it was
head over
gonna
to
be.
Dylan's lab to tell him we're done? You want to head over to
good.
Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good. That honestly wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, you want to head over to Dylan's lab to tell him we're done?
Sounds good.
I almost clicked on the SR team server, like, on while I was recording. That would not have been a good decision. So if you're done, you can just send the FLA to Let's Try It Out. I'll look it over. I will give comments probably tomorrow. We are a little bit over time, but when Nokia finishes, I will stop the actually, I could stop the recording right now. We could just stay and call. So I'm actually gonna do that real quick. So today we didn't really learn super that much today. We learned about keyframing, which we're past that with this scene now, but then we talked about animating scenes, then we talked about errors in case of them, how to fix errors, how to avoid them, recover files, and then we just animated. So yeah. So if you weren't here today, if you want to give animating SR220 a try, you totally can. You don't have to, but if you're watching this recording, I do ask that you be here tomorrow, because tomorrow is the important day. But yeah, so that's it. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow in the final day of the SR Animation Academy.